Okay, so today is October the what day is today? It doesn't matter. Today's October. Um, I had told a couple of my friends that I will make a video about how I became Muslim and what was the catalyst pretty much on why I decided to do it, to just go through with it. Let's see. Oh, yes. To begin with, I had to give you a little bit of a history backup, like a small little portion of who the old me was. So, I was very, very much into the spiritualism, a Wiccan sorceress. I did a lot of energy healings. I mean, I was putting faith into my own energy, my own self, believing that, if God made us, then, and we're part of God, then I'm a little God. So, and it was like, wow, it was a very big taboo to do. My grandfather, so just jump way ahead. For the past 9 years, my grandfather had cancer, and it was getting into the bones and everything else. And in the past year, he was getting worse and worse and worse. And I knew it was going to come to the day, because obviously, right, it's cancer, and he was 90. He was going to turn 90 the next month. So anyways, he was going to turn 90. And so I was keeping track on him and everything else. And the day came that he had to go to the hospital. The whole family gathered around. And I just, when you know something, you just know. And I knew that night my grandfather would have passed away that night. So I vouched to be the first to watch him, to be looking over him, to be having a conversation with him, to hold his hand. And they had no qualms about it, and I was very adamant about it. So that's what I did that night with my grandfather. I read a poem to him, my favorite one of all, a book that he gave me a long time ago when I was like 8 years old, and I read him my favorite poem. And I just pretty much held his hands and told him how much he did for me growing up, what he stood for what's in me. And he did pass away that night, and when he passed away, I was no longer looking at my grandfather. I was looking at a husk, a body, and I just felt like, Grandpa was right beside me. He was no longer on the bed. He was beside me. And when I felt as if, some other soul was with me, just not in physical form, I knew that there has to be something more to what I was into, the whole sorcery bit. So that night I stood firm, and I called everyone, and that was pretty much it in a nutshell about Grandpa. And then for the following 2 weeks after my grandfather's death, I took a hiatus, pretty much. I took 2 weeks to myself, soul searching, like seriously soul searching. I wouldn't talk to anyone. I would just get some music on into, my iPod. I would go for my huge, big walks. I would constantly write. I did my arts. I was mostly outside for all that time. And what I came across was, I had a lot of baggage. And there was a huge point in my life where I just despised God. I was pissed off to the max. And I was so in delusion. I was delusional. Like, it was horrible. And during that time of those 2 weeks of hiatus, I had found God, and I knew there was something more. And So jumping to further ahead in history, I had come across my Habibi, uh, and he had told me that he was Muslim, and I'm like, Muslim? I'm like, I'm going on what I seen on TV and what the media was talking about and everything else. I'm like, you know, like, not good. But for some reason, I had the urge. To that time, I was listening to what was going on inside me, and you know, little signs that God gives you, you know. So I'm like, okay, I'll listen to my gut. I'll go for it, you know. I'll read up on Muslim. I won't put any, you know, judgment towards it. I'll keep an open mind and read as much as possible and see what exactly is Muslim Islam. So I came back to him about a week later, and I had researched my butt off. And during that time, it was a full week of reading my Quran and everything else. And I'm like, I did not know that Islam was so beautiful, was so gorgeous, and what it did inside me. And so I did my Shahada. I'm like, I'm going for it. This makes all sense. And when I'm researching something, I always look for the red flags of, well, that doesn't make sense, or, well, that's not right, or, you know, you just look for the red flags. And there was no red flags. And if something, you look at a book, and you're trying to get all the truth in one book, and you find so many red flags up. You're like, that's bull, that's bull, that's bull. The Quran, full out truth. So, after I came back to him and told him about what I thought about it, and I did my Shahada, and I simplified my life that day. I went through my whole house. I started off with my trunk. My trunk was the whole Wiccan sorcery things. I threw it all out. I just chucked it in the garbage with no qualms. And about a month before that or so, I would have so cried, because I was putting so much energy and so much faith into inanimate objects. I'm like, who does that? I should have faith in the Lord, Allah, not crystals, not some piece of string or feathers. So yeah, that's pretty much it in a nutshell. So yeah, that's about it. Salam.